Hi, I'm Jim Knotts, President and CEO of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Welcome to today's virtual reading of the names. 2022 marks the 40th anniversary of the dedication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. As part of our commemoration, we'll host an in-person reading of the names at the wall from November 7th through 10th, 2022, when all 58,281 names on the wall will be read aloud. In the lead up to that event, we'll be reading names each day online while sharing the photos of these heroes. For our daily virtual reading, the names of the service members will be read by month and day of death between the years 1956 and 1975 in alphabetical order for the given day. We apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Know that our readers are doing their best to honor these service members. We hope you'll listen and watch each day and share with others as we remember and honor those who gave their lives during the Vietnam War.
James William Agnew, Robert Samuel Alexander, Edward Jeffrey Baker, Dwight Herbert Ball, Larry Wayne Barrett, Carl Stephen Berger Jr., Arthur Best, John Enoch Black, Ronald Ray Blacksmith, Harry Lamar Blalock, John Clare Bonney, Wayne Roy Borowski, Johnny B. Boston, Howard James Bauer Jr., Wayne Boyd, John James Brady, Mance Brown, Richard Bernard Brush, Gary Butt, Candido Cabrera Rodriguez, Felipe Duran Camarillo, Milford Donovan Carter, Gary Michael Carter, Robert Lynn Caswell, Cornelius J. B. Chambers, David Wayne Chambers, John Roy Chapman, Alan Dwayne Christensen, Peter Bugby Christensen, Willard Lee Clemens, Everett Earl Kofer, Rainier Lewis Cole, London Conaway, Laverne Cossum, George Ronald Crabtree, Leslie Lee Craney, Albert Wayne Cudworth, Stanley John Saigon, Edward Day, James Anthony DiCarlo, Gilbert de la Pena, Ronald Dean Deskins, Raymond Lawrence Dillon, Leo Michael Donker, Michael William Downing, Arthur Gene Eklund, Richard L. Farenbrook, Michael Ferzaka, Samuel Fields, Jr., Greg R. Formanton, John William Fox, William Joseph Frey, Nicholas Louis Gardelis, Alan Dale Gilbertson, George Harvey Gilliam, Clarence Freddie Gibson, Fred Richard Glover, Kenneth D. Golden, Jr., Robert Gonzalez, Gerald Lee Griffin, Jr., Jimmy Horace Gwynn, Ronald Vention Hacker, John Charles Hardy, Carl John Hellring,
Donald Terry Helton, Lonnie Hilton Hendrickson, Kenneth Jerome Honig, David Eugene Hornby, James Henry Huff, Roger Dale Jarrell, Perry Henry Jefferson, Joseph Darrell Johns, James Grady Johnson, Robert Thomas Johnson, Joseph Lamar Jordan, DJ Kelsey, Rayford Henry King, Robert Jesse Kisser, James Edward Clicko, Philip Lorne Königsfeld, Joseph Bernard Cube, Martin James Latcher, James Minter Langford, Leslie John Lantos, Richard Lee Laws, James Franklin Lee, James Bernard Lowe, Clifton Malone, Ralph Charles McCowan, William Angus Miller, James Miracle Jr., John Thomas Montgomery, Edward Francis Morrill, Arthur Cyrus Morris Jr., Quentin Emile Malavy, Thomas Richard Murin, Gary Dean Nail, Larry J. Nichols, Douglas Lee O'Neill, Casimiro Palacios, Joseph W. Parent, James Lester Parker, Ronald Neal Parsons, Frances Laurie Pearson, Thomas James Poteet, Robert Nicholas Prett, Donovan Jess Pruitt, Roger Allen Quinn, Joseph G. L. Quirin Jr., Ronald Ruel Rexroad, Danny Joe Richardson, William Joel Rickman, Arnold Tillman Ryder, Edward Joseph Rogg Jr., Fred Brian Rosenberry, Thomas Arthur Ross, Irvin Lee Rush, Gary Ardeen Ryden, Theodore William Sandage, Charles Patrick Scarano, Willie Shelton, Robert James Sherwood Jr., Tommy Lee Sills, Thomas Joseph Silva, Gary Betty Simpkins, Edgar Lee Simmons, David Leonard Skimersky, George Craig Smith,
William Thomas Smith, Willie James Smith, Robert Smith, Harold Roger Smith, Robert James Sovizal, Lindell Ray Stiegel, Leonard Street Jr., Don Carlos Sykes, Hamp Jerome Sykes Jr., Roosevelt Tharrington Jr., Theodore Vale Thoman, David Carl Thomas, James Calvin Thomas, Kenneth Arthur Thomason, Joseph Bernard Toller, Felix Marcial Trujillo, Thomas Peter Visker, Albert Burton Walker, Howard Otto Warrington, Gary Eugene Watson, Daniel Lewis Went, Jean Lewis White, Richard Lee Wilkerson, John Terrell Wilkinson, Edward Wayne Williams, John William Wilson, Paul Thomas Wright, John C. Ronsky, Ronald Lee Zack, Larry Alfred Zitch,